right, so there's a camp by the name of Believers of the Way, or BOW, that subscribes to the Esau is the European or white man. Now, this is a camp in South Central. This video I'm doing here has nothing to do with the group, the people, none of that. This actually touched on another topic of who are calling themselves Jews today. I'm not dealing with that. I'm only analyzing specifically. So you can't say that I'm saying something I'm not saying. I'm only analyzing the sources which they suggest prove that Edomites are Europeans. That's all I'm doing. There's two sources here. Let's see if they actually prove that Edomites are Europeans.
The Judas Encyclopedia, 1925 edition, volume 5, page 41 states, Edom is in modern Jewry. The scholars is telling you the modern Jews, the men of Jewry right now, derived from Edom, Esau. This is extra biblical sources. Now we got scriptures that can support this as well, right? We got biblical prophecy, but I like to go into stuff like this because a lot of people think we twist and turn the scriptures. Well, look, how do you argue and refute history? How do you argue and refute scholars that don't even care about the Bible? They're just bringing out stuff and artifacts that they see. They don't even believe in the Bible half of the time. They just bringing out the information. It's for the real men and women of the Lord to go seek it out and find it, as the scriptures talk about, right? So it's telling you that scholars agree, most scholars would agree that the men of Edom are occupying Jewry of today.
All right, so notice how he's putting a lot of weight on the word scholar, as if this means something. Now he's talking about the Jewish scholars, though. So they're already in an identity crisis as they think that they're sons of Isaac.
How do we get around that? Let's get a precept, man, to support this, right? Let's get the one with Yahweh Shai, and then give me the one in Ezekiel. Y'all know the one on Ezekiel 36?
Yeah, come. I'll get the one in Ezekiel.
All right. Montezak, give me the one with Yahweh Shai, Luke 21. Why they find it in scriptures? It says H.G. Wells, in his classic work Outlines of History, verifies that millenniums ago, the Edomites became Jews. I wish I had the bombshell. Drop the bombs right now. Come on. Put bombs in the chat, man. That's heavy right there, bro.
All right, so there's absolutely nothing heavy about this. He's adding so much extra to this. There's two takeaways here. So he's saying that Edomites became Jews. So if, in our community, we know that Jews are Negroes, he's saying, and also if I subscribe to the false narrative that Edomites are, Europeans, he's saying Europeans became Negroes. It makes no sense. The other takeaway is that he's talking about a millennium. What is that? He actually read it a millennium ago. This has nothing to do with today. As we're going to find out, this is talking about becoming a Jew in the quote unquote religious sense, because we know that Europeans, because he's reading from a European source, Europeans have made it to where being a Jew is religious instead of a nationality. So you have to be careful when you're talking about for when Edomites becoming Jews and time period. This is a millennium ago, which I don't agree. Edomites did follow the ways of Israel. I'm going to be clear, not just Jews, but Israel. That doesn't change their nationality, and it doesn't make Edomites Europeans. He has yet to prove this point.
Or Jewish Encyclopedia to say something like this. A lot of these dudes are just into finding information and presenting information. They don't have any dog in the fight because a lot of them don't really believe in the Bible anyway. You see what I'm saying? So they bringing out this information for us. Well, the Most High, through the Spirit, is riling up the Spirit in them to bring out the information for us to come gather this information and retain it and share it to wake our people up. Huh?
Right.
Read that Luke out.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of a sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
Hold on, don't read that too fast, King. This is the time of Yahweh Shai. I don't think there's no debating that Yahweh Shai is black on this platform. We all know that. He's a dark-skinned man with woolly hair, right? The Israelites are dark-skinned. They look like us. They look like black and Latino, man. Dark, melanated people, right? Now, watch this. Christ is talking about the abomination of desolation, right? He's like, it's coming, right? He's letting them know the signs of the times, right? Read.
Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
That's a cut. The scriptures let you know that the Gentiles are going to take over the land until their time of rulership be completed.
All right, so now this is deceptive. He's reading Jerusalem being trodden down by the Gentiles as if this has something to do with Esau exclusively, whereas it's saying Gentiles plural. It's multiple. Gentiles just means nations, and they know this because if the doctrine suits, they'll show that when it relates to Israel, but it's a dagger against them as well. It's a double-edged sword. Gentiles just means nations plural. It's more than one. So again, this doesn't prove anything as far as what they're saying that it's doing.
So all we got to do is reverse engineer this thing, right? We see the timeline and Christ wrote this and when it was going to happen. We see when this prophecy took place, right? Roughly around like 69 AD to about 72 AD, give or take. And then we see the events that transpired after that, right? So we can kind of put the puzzles together through the prophecies. And then we go into historical records like this, just to add icing on the cake, essentially. Bring that out, Manawa.
God, this is Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea.
Another word for Idumea is Edom. Okay, you can see this in this right here, in this other encyclopedia text right here. You see this?
Come.
I don't know if y'all can see it. Edom, Idumea right here. You see this word?
Come.
Idumea. It's synonymous with Edom. Right. When you look up that word Idumea in the let's look it up. Let's look it up in the lexicon. Okay. What verse was that, King?
36 and 5.
You look that word up. It's a Greek word, but it's gonna go back to Edom. Idumea, right? Look at the word. You see that?
Come, right there.
It says it derives from Genesis 25 and 25. Edom, the elder twin brother of Jacob, hence the region Idumea, occupied by him.
Come.
You see that? Right? So God is gonna have this beef with the Idumeans, right? Read on.
Come. I have spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land.
Which took my land, and what?
Which have appointed my land into their possession.
Wow. If that's not plain enough on the table, let's get another translation. That might not be plain enough for brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Let's get another one. That might not. Is that plain to y'all?
Man, it's plain. Bring it out anyways, Ken.
You know what I mean? This is the type of stuff I be wanting to have, and this is like basic elementary stuff for us, but it's new. It might be new information for brothers and sisters. It's not in the in the knowledge. So I try to bring it out. I'm telling you, man. 10 Tribe brother was not having it. He said, "I am not listening to any scriptures when you read."
Terrible.
Right.
Terrible.
I was like, "Damn, you hate your brothers, bro. You hate your brothers." Had I been a white man, this would have been a different conversation. Was that Ezekiel 36:5?
Okay.
What I do like about the new KJV, it says right here, Edom. So it just replaced it. The Idumean Edom. Let you know these Edomites. They all pretty much saying the same thing. It's not nothing like too much more plain. It's basically saying making the land into their own possession. The Christian Bible even says that. The Harman Christian Bible even says that. They like what is a possession? It's something that you own. And that's what's going on. Prophecy fulfilled. You see that? But let's go back to that let's call this now. Let's go back to that where was it? Yeah, right here. Right? Now watch this. It says, but then he goes on and gives us another trail to follow in correctly identifying the people today who call themselves Jews. He says that these Idumeans, which we know are also synonymous with who? Edomites. With a Turkish people of southern Russia, the Khazars, who also became Jews. So he's letting you know the vast majority of people who call themselves Jews today derive from a people called Edom.
All right, so now this is a bold-faced lie that he just said, and also he left out the word join. How this reads, because I actually paused it and read it, it says that these Edomites, which are actually Edomites, which has yet to be proven to be Europeans, then joined is the key word, with these Turks and Khazarians, okay, which are Europeans, or as they would say, white people. So if Turks and Khazars are already Edomites or whatever, why do Edomites have to join with Turks and Khazars under a completely you see what I'm saying? It's a contradiction, and he's failing to see this as he's reading this, because he's reading to prove a point. He's not reading genuinely to provide evidence. He really thinks he's providing evidence that this is saying Edomites are Europeans, and it's really not. This, for one, it was talking about a millennium ago, which again, it's talking about Edomites. You have to prove that those Edomites are still Europeans in the first damn place. If I see Edomites, I'm just going to take it as Edomites. I'm not following doctrines. We're analyzing evidence that he's providing, which doesn't prove what he's saying.
Why is that important? That's very important because we got the biblical text lining up with extra biblical sources in history.
All right, so nothing here has lined up. I know he feels that it is. The only thing that has lined up has been the fact that Edomite and Idumea are synonymous, which is not the argument. The other thing that has lined up is that a millennium ago, Edomites, who have yet to be proven to be Europeans, followed the ways of Israel, the righteous ways of Israel. Very few, but again, that's also not the argument. The argument is that these Europeans are Edomites, and that this encyclopedia source is supposed to be proving this, and it has yet to do so. It's transcending into now Turks and Khazars, which again, these are not Edomites. These are actual Europeans of sons of Japhet. So the source actually, when you analyze it, says that Edomites joined Khazars and the Turks. If Turks, you see what I'm saying? Like, how can you miss that? And I think that's probably why he intentionally didn't read it. This source does not provide that Edomites are Europeans. Edomites join two Europeans, and then like that's it. That's all the source. It's not even supporting the first sentence, saying that, you know, Edomites are this jewelry. Nothing in this paragraph below shows how. That makes the first statement a false statement. It's unsupported. I'm jumping the gun. The remainder of this source actually shows that it's no longer talking about Edomites. It's talking about Khazars. Khazars are not Edomites. Turks are not Edomites. But they would say it because they have it just as fixed in their heads. But it's fixed but unproven fixed. It's just because YouTube says so. No source is showing Edomites to be Europeans. It's just guys kind of all that has happened is the first sentence says something about Jewry. As you read the source does not support what the first sentence says. It's just a statement. This statement is not proven. And that's what Israel doesn't understand. Somebody saying something is not somebody proving something. Even if they show a paper, this paper is irrelevant because this paper, writing or whatever, however you want to call it, is not supporting what's being said. It's irrelevant evidence. But hey, somebody said it, and that's all that matters to Israel. That's dumb. Now, I don't want to be long-winded, but I have to be thorough. Lastly, on this particular writing, it says both, and it says it in all caps, make up present-day Jewry. So, but we have three nations here. We have Edomites, Khazars, and Turks. So who's the both when you have three? Both means two. The both here that's making up the modern day Jewry is Khazars and Turks. Has nothing to do with Edomites.
Let's get another one, just to kind of further drive this point home, right? Now, the brother of Matazar brought out the scripture in Luke, prophecy, right? Now, look, watch this. We know the Greeks and the Romans were the same people, right?
God.
Wrong. Greeks and Romans are not the same people. That's why one's Greek and one's Romans. In the Daniel 7 prophecy, you have the Greeks, which is the third beast, and the Romans as the fourth beast. If they were the same, there would only be three beasts. Also, that coming to pass of the transition between those two kingdoms happened in chapter 8 of First Maccabees. You see the Romans beefing and going to war with Greeks. If they're the same people, why in the hell are they going to war against each other? They are two related nations, but the fact that they are related, we have to use the word related, shows that they are not the same. Also, this is irrelevant.
Now look this. I don't know if y'all can see it because it's kind of a little jaded, but bear with me. It says they were then incorporated with the Jewish nations, and their country was called by the Greeks and Romans Idumea. Right? Idumea. With Antipater or Antipater, however you want to pronounce it, began the Idumean dynasty that ruled over Judea till its conquest by the Romans. We had the Maccabean family, right? The last breed of the Maccabean family was John Hyrcanus and his son. They put work on them boys, you know, on them damn Idumeans, the Greeks.
Don't fall for this. Edomites are Edomites, Greeks are Greeks, Romans are Romans. I've shown this time and time again on my channel. There are three different nationalities from two different bloodlines. One's Yaphetic, one's of Shem. They believe this, but they don't know why. That there's zero proof in the Bible. There's zero proof elsewhere. This is only camp YouTube doctrine. Where it says Greek, it's a Greek. Where it says Edom, it's Edom. They are not the same.
Right, but after certain battles, they eventually got taken over by the Idumeans. Right, Antipater and his family eventually took over them boys. Right, and then from that,
I'm just gonna go on and end this nonsense. He's trying to assert that Antipater, however you pronounce it, is an Edomite. How and where? It's just because you say so, and that's what happens with this doctrine. It's just because I said so doctrine. And when they think that they're proving something, the proof that they supplied doesn't show it. It might be a vague statement, as you've just seen. The statement does not have support to show it to be a fact. You know what I'm saying? That's why I did a video showing that evidence then leads to proof, which then leads to a fact. No fact proves this. He might feel that it's proof, but if you thoroughly analyze this without a bias, it's just it's completely neutral. It doesn't support the Esau's the white man doctrine. I know, and I'm going to wrap this up with this statement. I know in Israel, we're driving from work to home, to the grocery store, to football practice, whatever. We don't analyze anything. We just listen to YouTube and trust in these guys on YouTube. The problem with that is nothing's getting analyzed, and then I get strong-minded, basically dummies that come, and they come with the spirit of these camps of just following, listening, following, and I put it to the test, and they can't even, I don't even want to say debate, but they can't stand on the doctrine that they're asserting, because nothing exists to back it. Because all they've done is just sit in the car, sit wherever, and just watch and listen to YouTube videos. That does not make you a scholar or a prophet. It just makes you just a somebody. There's no proof to support the Esau's the white man doctrine. That's all for now, as it is written, and I'm out.